Mondays on the USA Network. Don't miss Raw. This week, Raw goes international when the WWE superstars come to you from across the pond in the UK. Don't miss Raw live Monday at 9, only on USA.
What else do you have for us, Bill?
Well, I'll tell you what. Among the people that will be celebrating at the end of the race today will be the winner of the Nextel Race to the Chase sweepstakes fueled by Sunoco. During the season, fans made their choice as to who was going to win the chase for the Nextel Cup. One fan was chosen for each driver that made the chase. The 4 fans that are still in it are here, and one of them will win $250,000 and a tanker of Sunoco gasoline. That would be the fan that picks the champion. So.
And you said tanker, not tank.
No, tanker. The big. I just showed you the tanker. Show the tanker again. It's down there somewhere. You're going to drive and park it in your driveway. See?
I'd like to have that thing parked in my yard somewhere.
There you go. There's the tanker. But for you to get the tanker, though, you have to get your car home safely and make sure you don't break down on the side of the road.
There's no mud puddles in your driveway, is there?
That tank would probably go through the mud puddle.
Yes, it would. The Florida skies at sunset. Even when there is no sun to set. Hidden behind the clouds. Forecast for today was pretty bleak, but things have worked out fine so far. We'll keep our fingers crossed. 104 laps in. Of 267, 163 to go. Jeff Gordon, Carl Edwards, Casey Mears, Ryan Newman, Kevin Harvick. Then it's Mark Martin, Mike Bliss, Casey Kane, Greg Biffle. Jimmy Johnson is 10th. Championship leader Tony Stewart runs 12th. Here's the restart. Jeff Burton was the lucky dog.
A little loose there for Carl Edwards.
What was Marty talking about? They're working with the brakes to try and help that?
I'm already saying they put more. Carl can turn the brake bias, so he puts more front brake in it. That helps tighten the car up. But as you make your run and the car gets tight, you got to remember to take that brake back out. So after 10 or 15 laps, he'll make that adjustment again.
Edwards on Gordon's bumper. Update on Gordon from Alan Bestwood.
Hey, Bill, just had a conversation with his crew chief, Steve Letard, under this caution while we had a quiet moment. He said, we want to keep by Carl Edwards and lead laps. The more laps we lead, the fewer Carl leads. Thinking toward those bonus points about leading the most laps in the race and their teammate, Jimmy Johnson, trying to win a championship. Marty?
And Alan, when we started the show, we talked about how Carl had 3 goals for the weekend. He already checked 1 off. He won the pole. Now he wants to check off goal number 2.
I don't know if you can keep track of it, but laps led. You know, we got to lead the most, so you tell me how hard you want me to get these guys and who we got to race for that.
You don't worry about it. I'll let you know, bud.
10-4, buddy. Just get one shot here, you know.
I understand the big picture here where we can't run our car too hard just to get laps early and then not be able to lead them in the end.
All right, 10-4, buddy. I got you. Got a great car, though.
And currently, Carl has led the most laps. And to your point, Wally, he asked the crew to remind him, 10 laps into this run, to remind me to take that front brake out, or else the car will be way, way too tight.
Yeah, because driver will get a little bit busy, and he'll forget to do that.
Edwards has led 55 laps, as Marty talked about. Ryan Newman is the next closest with 30.
And these 2 Dodges you see racing for the 3rd position. Casey Mears on the left is driving the 2005 model. Ryan Newman on the right has a 2004. It really looks like it's about a draw as far as which car is the best. Alan?
BP also had a conversation with Jimmy Elledge, Casey Mears' crew chief, during the quiet of the caution. They feel as the sun continues to set, the temperature cools, the track conditions will come to them. He said, we've been pretty patient so far. That's not bad to be running that far up to the front and just being patient, huh?
No. If they've been patient, things look awfully good for them as this night wears on.
Martin there on the... Like he's kind of getting passed right there. Matt, what's Mark saying about his car?
Well, he's not saying a lot. He really feels like the car is great on long runs, but his teammate, Greg Biffle, just blew past him now. They're trying to keep up with the racetrack as it changes. He ran the Busch race last night, knows how the track changed over the course of the race, and when you look at the track temperature, it has changed from 87.8 as we've got a battle for the lead down to 79.2, so it is definitely going down as Gordon stays out front there.
Thanks, Matt.
I think Carl Edwards' car gets a lot better after he's got 20 laps on those tires. That's when his car seems to be very strong.
This is for the lead.
And Jeff Gordon can use that outside and get that momentum off the corner. It's going to be difficult for Carl Edwards to make that pass. A moment ago, he got alongside Jeff Gordon down in turn one, almost spun the 99 car and backed off and lost about 15, 20 car lengths. Now he's trying it again.
Marty?
Hey, yeah, and VP's exactly right, guys. The line Carl likes is where Jeff is. He's taking his line away from him, so Carl's having to be creative, maybe try a lower line than he would like on the racetrack.
Well, either that or he's got to get right on the bumper of the 24 and get him loose. I mean, if there's a guy using your line and you can get close enough to him, get on his bumper going into the corner. If you loosen him up, you're going to be able to pass him.
Real good. I'll get him next time we get him going. Back forward, just be smooth. It's inevitable. You'll pass him. 12 laps on tires.
Wow. Almost like he was wiggling the car like he thought he had a tire problem, Dave.
So far, nothing like that reported, Wally. The car is very loose. And one thing he's been doing, talk about in-cockpit adjustments that the driver can make. The fans that blow air on the tires, he's been working with the right rear blower on that right rear tire. It either cools or makes, by turning it off, you make the right rear hotter and expand it and can loosen up the car. So you would assume he's now adding it to the back. But boy, he's losing a lot of positions. We'll keep an eye on this.
Feeling soft anywhere, but it's loose.
He's either got a problem or thinks he does.
Yeah, I was going to say, the way he was wiggling his car, when a driver wiggles a car like that, getting off the corner, you do that to see if you feel like you have a tire going soft. He's obviously being real careful right now. He thinks he's got something wrong because he's getting passed left and right.
He was 10th on the restart and now is 22nd. So he's lost 12 positions in 10 laps.
And we heard Chad Canals tell him just a moment ago that the 99 car, the 24 car, some of these guys are running that high line and are really going really fast. But he said that his car did not like that high line. It would get him too loose getting in the corner when he tried to do that.
But see, he's not running his car hard. You see these cars passing him right now very easy. He's trying to feel that thing out right now. He thinks he's got a problem.
Meanwhile, Tony Stewart has cracked the top 10. He's in the 9th position. 9th or better today, and Stewart clinches the championship no matter what Edwards, Biffle, and Johnson do.
But Jimmy Johnson, as you can see, is racing Carl Edwards and Greg Biffle, and currently Jimmy Johnson, with his problems right now, is falling back to the 4th position, and even 60 points behind Carl Edwards.
He's going to lose some more here, too.
That car is very loose.
Baby,
He is very loose. You can see him working the wheel. You can see the car getting sideways. He's got his hands full, and he doesn't want these cars behind him right now. He'll let them go because that just makes his car worse.
He wants a caution, and he doesn't want to be the caution.
We saw the 5 car earlier, Kyle Busch, similar situation, and he ended up spinning the car off turn 4, backed it in the fence.
Make sure you're off the brake foot. Just float that thing in there, try to run without the brake.
And he's going to get lapped.
He's
in no time.
28th right now, the last car on the lead lap. He's got about 12 seconds before the leader would catch him. But Gordon, much quicker right now than Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, Jeff Gordon currently is running 2 seconds per lap faster than Jimmy Johnson. So that means in 6 or 7 laps, he's going to be right behind.
I have no idea what's going on.
Well, there you have it. No idea what's going on. Johnson second in the championship standings, the last.
Settle in, Jimmy, settle in, but you can get this figured out, man. Just settle in. Make sure your right rear tire blower's on.
Matt?
Well, some interesting observations from another spotter battling for the championship. Greg Biffle's spotter, Joel Edmonds, says it looks to me like the 48 has a right rear tire going down. Earlier, Biffle was asking about his teammate Carl Edwards, where he stood in the points, how far ahead Edwards needed to finish ahead of Tony Stewart to try to clinch that championship.
That right rear does look soft.
Meanwhile, Greg Biffle, that Joel Edmonds spots for, is trying to take over the 4th spot from Ryan Newman, and looks like he will.
So Biffle gets the position. Jeff Gordon leads. We'll keep an eye on the 48 car. If trouble breaks out, we will break in. Jeff Gordon won the season opening Daytona 500, trying to close out 2005 with a win here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway in the Ford 400. Gordon not in the chase, but in the lead at Homestead. The caution has just come out for championship contender Jimmy Johnson.
And the right rear tire has exploded on the 48 car.
It looked like it was low, and Biffle was right. I mean, the tire looked low, and we got a shot of it. Got to listen to what that car's telling you. Jimmy Johnson knew something was wrong. Right in front of the leader, Jeff Gordon.
His teammate.
And there's the end of his championship hopes right there.
So Jimmy Johnson, second in the championship.
To the garage.
The last 2 seasons was hoping to
Jimmy,
get.
that is the leader in your mirror.
That's right. That is the leader. So he tries a little bit harder, but there's nothing he can do with that flat tire. There we see the tire blow just before he spun. The outside tire lost the air.
Chad, backed it in the fence left side.
We heard him say, I don't know what this car is doing.
Well, like I said, I mean, he knew something was wrong with that race car.
Fluid tire.
And,
Great job. Good season. Go home.
One of those deals you hate to come in,
Yep.
you know, but
If you don't,
caught up with him.
yes it does. Yes it did. You end up in the wall. So now, 3 men alive in the chase for the next Cup as the field comes to pit road. Matt Yoakum.
Greg Biffle won here last year, climbed up to 4th. Some number of adjustments going to take place in the 16 car. They're going to push a spring rubber in again on the right rear. The chassis adjustment already completed. The car was getting tight at the end of that run. Today Burns, to Allen.
Well, Jeff Gordon and Carl Edwards, who have been going back and forth for the race lead in. Gordon's team going to make an adjustment to try and tighten his car up just a little bit. Carl Edwards' crew the last 2 weeks have done a phenomenal job getting him off pit road first. And you see Tony Stewart, bottom of the screen, wants more of the adjustment they got last time because it didn't help enough. Marty?
Second in the championship and second on the track. Carl Edwards leads pit road with the lead this time. He said it was a little tighter on that run. They took a half pound out of the right front tire.
Very strong pit stop by Carl Edwards' team.
How about that Mike Bliss comes out in 7th position in the 0 car.
There's the race off of pit road, won by Edwards.
Oh, good. Right. Good pit stop by the 12 crew. Beats Jeff Gordon by about a fender.
Mark Martin and Casey Mears, Kevin Harvick. Jimmy Johnson, his low Chevy back in the garage for repairs. Johnson out of the car and out of the championship chase.